flashback of sorts to the 1990s. We remember that, right? Yeah. With some Republicans pushing now for a new contract with America. It's a policy manifesto for the midterms that details for voters what the GOP would do if they were able to get the majority. Congressman Jack Kingston, who's running for Senate in Georgia, well, he has a 6-point plan. It includes restoring national security, boosting private sector job creation, reducing national debt, achieving energy independence and development, enabling work over welfare, and accomplishing tax simplification. And Congressman Kingston joins me now with his 6-point plan. Good to see you, sir.
Well, it's great to be with you, and I appreciate your coverage of this.
Yes, so much so. I mean, you're not the only one who's coming up with this manifesto, and yet there seems to be some pushback from members of the GOP. Why?
I'm not certain, but I can say this. I saw what Newt did. What he was able to do is get a divided conservative family together. He got the moderate New England Republicans on the same page with the Southern social conservative Republicans and on the same page with the Western libertarian Republicans. And right now, if you look at our party, you know, we have different factions and we have different levels of being conservative. But I think what we need to do is get behind a centralized platform.
You know, and I want to go through some of the points, the 6 points that you have. I'm listening to you and I'm thinking to myself, this is, you know, a smart idea. Although Newt Gingrich himself has apparently come out now and said that he doesn't think that this manifesto, it's the right time and the place. What would you say back to him?
Well, I think that it is, because I've been out on the campaign trail, as you know, both as, a member of Congress and as a Senate, and I've talked to lots and lots of conservative groups. And, you know, you have some suspicion back and forth between maybe more traditional Republicans and newcomers. Sometimes they're called Tea Parties, sometimes they're called Libertarians, sometimes they're called establishment. But the reality is we do have different factions, and the way to unite them is say, look, what we really want to do is two things: reform government and cut spending.
All right, so let's look at your 6-point.
We can do that.
Let's look at your 6-point plan, because you believe that these are areas in which the Republicans can come together. Restoring national security, peace through strength. I mean, I would think that most Republicans would agree on national security issues, wouldn't they?
I think so, and what we have seen is the president gives lots of mixed signals, certainly has not put veterans or care of veterans high on his priority list, but that is an opportunity for us to do something good for the nation and, again, to bring conservatives together. And, you know, the president has been wishy-washy on foreign policy. Ronald Reagan's view on war was very simply, he would often say, we win, they lose. Well, that's not the motive of this president. And I think that, you know, we have an opportunity to distinguish ourselves from the other party.
Well, it's very timely you're talking about that, because the president, of course, is going to be speaking about foreign policy just about 10 minutes from now. You also are talking about boosting private sector job creation, and I'm going to lump in number 3 with that, which is reducing our national debt. Again, these seem to me to be issues that not many Republicans within the party would be in disagreement about.
No, and maybe we could argue about how to get there, but the reality is there's so many duplications of federal programs, 47 different federal job training programs, 45 early childhood education programs. Certainly we could get rid of some of this duplication, and I think if you look at some of the waste, there would be a widespread agreement on what to do, and people would get excited about voting Republican and excited about voting for conservatives. All
right, so you have 3 more: achieving energy independence and development. That's a huge topic. Again, I wouldn't see a tremendous amount of disagreement there. Here's one that I want to hone in on, though: enabling work over welfare. What do you mean?
You know, part of the contract with America was welfare reform, and at the time there was something like 14 million people on welfare. We reduced that roll by about 9 million people. Now, I'm giving approximations, but the reality is some tough love out there, getting people out in the workplace again, was very beneficial to them and to the economy. And this year we put on the food stamp bill a requirement that if you're an able-bodied adult that you should have a work requirement. It did not pass the Senate, but we were able to get it on a pilot basis for 10 states. So
all right.
step in the right direction.
And the final one is accomplishing tax simplification, and everyone just went through their taxes on April 15th, so they might be in favor of that. Just want to mention that you are in a battle for a two-person runoff for a Senate seat in your state of Georgia, and we appreciate your time, Congressman Kingston. Thanks much.
Thanks a lot.
And for reaction to the Kingston plan, time to bring in Kirsten Powers, USA Today columnist and Fox News contributor, and